Hello, hello, it's Carrie, So Much Glitter. Welcome to the craft room. Come and join me. If you have not subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, like, share, comment, turn on the notifications so you will be alerted when I have new videos coming out, which I am trying to do better to post them regularly. I am over on Instagram, and then I share like self-care reels on TikTok. That's still like a newer platform to me, but it's a little bit fun. I wanted to get into the holiday spirit today, and today I have the perfect kit to do so. And this is the Itty Bitty kit from Sweet Pea Curiosities. I'm going to link it in the description box so you can just go directly to Marisa's Etsy and pick up your own. These are like micro images of I chose Santa Claus because I am a Santa Claus junkie. I love all of the vintage Santa. I absolutely have like a collection, and whenever I'm in the store like Hobby Lobby or whatever and they have old Santa Claus fabric, anything, I love it. So I want to create some ephemera for the upcoming season, and I'm going to be doing that with some wax seals. I have this over here. I do have wax seals kind of piled up in my stash, and I might use some of those too. So I'm just going to get a few of those out. Some of them are raised pretty high, and some of them do have marker on them, as you can see. So I'm going to try to do a few that have, oops, I'm dropping things. I want to try to do a few that have not as much going on the wax seal, or I could flip them over and do it that way if I wanted to, but I kind of lose the effect of the seal. But if you see these, I like to mix a lot of my wax seals with glitter and different colors. It's a lot of fun. I am going to cut these up, and then before I get into the project today, I want to show you a little bit of a sneak peek of what I have coming. This is also from Marisa. I will link this kit down below in the description box as well. But I did use, if you watched one of my last videos, I did use the Walmart glitter paper. If you can see it, I'm not sure it does any justice on my camera, but this is glitter printer paper, and I did get this at Walmart, and it shipped to me, so I don't think that it's sold in my Walmart store, but if you find it, I would pick it up. It's about $10, and none of this glitter or anything comes off, and I think the printing quality is so perfect, and you just get a nice shimmery, elegant look. And so I'm going to do some of this for some card fronts in another video. I had to share that because I was so excited with the way that it turned out. So I want to get into this now. I'm going to go ahead and light my candle for the wax seals. And I recommend when you're doing wax seals to not have any fans going, probably no children and pets, but you know, just kind of a little benign area of fire safety going on over here. I'm going to make a few wax seals, and then I'm probably going to dip into my stash. I thought that I had a plain wax seal like stamper. I don't exactly know what these are called, but I thought I had a plain one that didn't have anything on it. But I don't, so that's going to have to be on my to-do list. So I picked one that had the least amount of rays on it that I could feel, and so it's pretty flat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these up, and then we're going to choose from some ribbons that I have here, and we're going to make a little bit of some fun ephemera for our Christmas cards. So let's get started on cutting some of these up first. And I'm not going to be cutting these exactly perfect, but I want to cut them up right on the line, and you're gonna see the line that she has here. See, I cut this a little bit over, but I think it's really cute. So I'm gonna pick up a few of these images that I want for my project, and I'm just gonna slice it right on the line the best I can. And I'm going to create some wax seals. We're going to use some ribbon, and we're going to put these images on top of the wax seals. So I'm just going to continue to cut up a few. And I'm probably not going to make that many, as many as I'm cutting up today, but I just want to have some probably for in my stash. And this, now when I cut it up smaller, I'm going to do that by hand. And then I'm going to pick out the wax that I want for my wax seal. I have 2 of these kits. I purchased these on Amazon, and then I have some other wax seals that I purchased like at the store. I think like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and things like that. I like the Amazon ones. I like the way that they melt. I like the way that they turn out. I normally melt like 3 or 4 of them per wax seal. So you can go through these kind of fast if you're doing them a lot. I don't do these like every day. But I just want a little bit of shimmer, I think, on this. So I'm going to put my spoon over my barrel with the lit flame. And let's start out with some gold. And once you really get into melting down the wax, that's when you can start. And you're going to see a little bit of smoke. I don't know if you can see that. So if you're sensitive to that, that's just kind of an FYI. And you can start to see it melting. And I'm going to look for my scissors. I do not know where my big scissors went, so I'm going to have to go hunting for those. But you're going to start to see that melting, and I'm going to take a little bit of a, I have like a little bit of it's a pokey tool. I just used my Cricut pokey tool, and you can kind of help it along with the melting process if you see that it's melting unevenly. I always have, I'm like at a loss for words. I apologize. I always have paper towels next to me so I can keep those handy, because I'm going to want to keep this clean. You're going to want to keep the spoon clean, and you're going to want to clean up the barrel in between colors and waxing and things like that. So I'm just going to trim a few of these down. And if you've guessed it already, I've been inspired by Marisa's YouTube video that she posted. I will post her YouTube channel in the description box below. She did quite a few of these for different projects, and she made some ephemera. She didn't do exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, mine's just inspired by her idea, but she created this kit for that. And she's putting the images on the wax seal. So that's why I'm doing some fresh ones, and then I have some from my stash, because we're just going to kind of see how it turns out. And what I have prepared off to the side, well, I just have it in my stash, is Fabri-Tac, and that's probably what I'm going to use most of today because of the ribbon and because of we want to get these to adhere to the wax, and they're just going to be cute little pieces of ephemera that we can put on our cards. We can put on the outside of an envelope. I don't know if it'll mail, so it probably would be non-machinable at that point, so that would have to be your call when you're ready for that. And there are going to be some fun little pieces of ephemera for our Christmas creation. So I have 2 silicone mats here, and I'm just going to pour all of this out, the contents of this out, and put my wax seal directly on top of it and let that set up. And if you can see up in my screen, it kind of spreads out, so then you get that effect. I am going to wipe this off. It's going to be very hot. I have a lot of soot going, which is normal, because I think it was remnants of the last time I did it. When I did these, I think I forgot to clean off the bottom. So you're going to get like soot right there, that's perfectly normal. I'm going to leave that there. And now my hands are all messy. It's part of crafting, right? And I'm going to cut down a few more of these because I really haven't decided which ones I want to use. And then I'm going to pick out my ribbon, and we're going to just start creating these fun little pieces. Now this kit that Marisa has, comes with not just Christmas ones. This is just the one that I chose. There's birds, there's people, there's a lot. So if you go over and grab the kit, it's going to be like an all occasion kit for all of everything crafting. So these can go in your junk journals. You could put these images like on keychains, bookmarks, things like that. So the possibilities are really endless, but this is what I chose to do with this today. And I'm going to leave these out here. And I'm going to put some more wax in the wax warmer because that should be close to being set up. And now I'm just going to do, I think, a little bit more. Oops, I need to put the spoon back. I'm going to do a little bit more of like a champagne color. And like I said, once you get used to these, then you kind of know how many it'll take to make a full wax seal. I do the 4 of them. I kind of put this on the back of my hand, and if it's still warm to the touch, it's probably not ready, so I leave it there. I do have some more off to the side, which I might have to get into if that's not ready to set up. And I'm just gonna start creating with some of these that are in my stash that are already ready. And I just keep these in like a little bag because I have a basket for all of my wax seal things. So I have some of these here. And I was looking for a green, which I thought I saw a green. Here it is. But I think I want like a deeper green, but that's cute. So you can like put markers on these, and I have bought like little metallic markers. You can get some at the Dollar Tree. I just did happen to purchase mine on Amazon. This is the ones that I did. And these are water-based ink, and so I just color the images, the raised images on this, and you can get fancy with it however you want to do it. And this came in like a pack, I don't know, to be honest, but I have a few different colors. And then I had already had this in my stash. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby one time when I first started doing the wax seals. So I just kind of continue to come over here and I check up on this to make sure it's not all goopy. And yeah, we just start to creating. And since I'm not going to be making a full card today, what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to put these in my stash. I have a little baggie, and I'm going to put that. I have like little silicone baggies. I have a set that I purchased, and these are all different sizes for storage. And I like to put some of my unfinished projects in here and then kind of set it off to the side. So these images are super, super small, and then they're just going to fit right on the center. I know the writing is probably getting in the way, so I might flip some of these over, or I might just leave it like that for some interest. I might get some lace, put some lace behind it, and let me go get my lace. Okay, so I had some lace in my stash that was kind of all intertwined together. I'm going to try to lift up this wax seal now, because now I see that this is good and going, and this is cooled off, and I just kind of gently lift this up. A good rule of thumb, because I have ripped a fair amount of these, probably because they weren't ready to come up or whatever it was, and that just turns out like that. And it's not going to turn out perfectly even. My hands are all dirty from the soot, but it's, you know, just like a work of art. I really like it. And a good rule of thumb is if you want this to release really easy, you can put some stays on here. I've done that before. And or you could keep a bowl of ice water by you when you're doing the wax seals, and keep this kind of dipped in the ice water or the ice bowl, and that will help that release a little bit easier. I forget sometimes to do that when I'm coming into my craft room, and I forget to bring the extra supplies with me. So I have a few of these, and I have quite a few of these, if you can see them. The wax seal, you know, whatever these are called. So I do have a few of those, and so I can kind of keep the process moving. Now let me get my fabric scissors, and I'm just going to cut a little bit of, I'm not even going to need that much, but I'm going to cut a little bit of lace. I could fold it in half. I could do whatever I want, but I could adhere this to this and set this behind here, and then we're good to go, right? So that just gives it a little bit of extra something. And then my idea was to adhere some ribbon to the back and have some string sticking out or whatever. I don't know yet exactly. I just have some Christmassy ribbon over here. I don't know. I think this black and like the black and white one would look really good with the pink. If you can see that, I might need to zoom in a little bit, but I just think that that would be super cute with the coloring. So let's get that going, and let's get our barrel going a little bit. And now I wanted the green, and I'm probably only going to do a few more of these because I have so many in my stash, but I enjoy making these. These are a lot of fun. So once you get going, like, it's hard to stop, right? With a lot of other crafting. So that's why I have so many extra in my stash. Let's see. Okay. I am just going to get my Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to adhere it kind of on the end, not over the whole thing. And I am not going to be shy about putting my fingers in this because I'm already dirty from the soot. And I have this on this mat. And we're just going to put that right down there. I'm going to put the glue on my wax seal, and I am going over the words because, like I said, I did not have a blank one of these in my stash. I really thought I did. So either it's missing or that was a fever dream. I bought it and I saw it somewhere and I bought it. I do know some of the alphabet ones come with the, I've seen that before, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It comes with a blank, just a smooth disc, and I probably need more Fabri-Tac, but I'm just going to lightly put the Fabri-Tac on the back of the picture. And the paper I do use, because I do print these are all printables, so you are going to be printing these at home. So when you're purchasing something from Sweet Pea Curiosities, it's a digital product. It's not like a physical product that's getting mailed to you. And so you'll print this out on your home printer. I use, I think it's 42-pound weight matte cardstock, and it's double-sided matte cardstock because I will get in a hurry sometimes and I will do the wrong side. If, you know, I'm not paying attention, like with the glossy photos and things like that. So I always try to do double-sided. So then that kind of takes a little bit of guesswork out for me. All right, so let's do another one. Some of these are so fun, right? And the blue and the blue, that goes perfect together, I think. I kind of like having the little bit of the something behind it. So I do not have any blue Christmas ribbon here. So let's just see. And this isn't going to fill the whole thing up. It just kind of gives it just something a little bit extra. So I'm going to do a few like this and then a few without, and see how that turns. And there goes my ribbon. And I'm just going to glue on the ends. I'm getting to the point where I need to tilt this upside down. So let me know in the comments below if you guys have started your Christmas crafting. We are in September, so some of you may not be ready for that, which I don't blame you. And I really like the Halloween crafting, so there is that as well that's going on. And I have a few things I'm working on, so please make sure to subscribe, and you don't want to miss that, because I think that I just love the Halloween crafting because it's not like I don't have a deadline. It's just fun things I like, and I have a lot of, the blue. I have a lot of these wax seals. I have a whole kit for Halloween, so the wax seals are fun. If you go check out my TikTok, I have some glow-in-the-dark beads, and last year I did a a skeleton that was glow in the dark, and I did a wax seal that was glow in the dark, and then I did some embossing powder that was glow in the dark. So we're just going to leave that sitting here, and we are going to see if this is ready to come up. This may not quite be ready. So I'm just going to get out another one, and these are kits that I purchased at Michael's, I think. I don't even know if it was last year. It might have been the year before. And I'm just going to try to do one that's not as raised. It's not, oh, that one doesn't fit on it. I don't think that one goes to this kit. Let's see. Oh, I wonder if something's wrong with this. Oh, it looks like something might be wrong with this. Okay, so I think something was wrong with this one because it's not out, as the screw's not out as far. So something's up with that. I don't know what it is. I'll have to figure that out at a later time. And I'm going to pour out the green just over here up in the top of my screen. I'm going to pour out as much of that as I can. And then I'm going to put this directly down. I have to watch my wrist because I'm right in the open flame. And I'm going to wipe this off. So if you haven't started your Christmas crafting yet, when do you guys start? I'm curious to know. I know shipping charges are really going up this year, so a lot of people may not be sending as many out. And now I have a little bit of a sooty mess, but I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. Yeah, so when do you guys start? I have things flying everywhere over here. It's like a craft-a-lanch. So I'm going to pick a different ribbon to go with this. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a different style. There's that. This is kind of a deeper red. So I'm just going to go with the glittery green. And if you see these two that are off to the side, I'm going to zhuzh them up just a little bit though. And they're not finished, so we'll make a few more. I didn't want to make this video too long for you. My throat, excuse me. I have my little soda off to the side that I might have to take a sip of. But just a fairly simple, fun project you could, you know, do around the craft table. And let's see, let's do a really small. This might be too big. So something like that is kind of what I was thinking. Or put this in the front, right? Because we have the, I'm gonna glue this because we have the writing on these. Now, if I were to have used a plain little disc, I could have, I had it the other way before. I could have just, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't need to cover anything up, but I don't want the writing really to get in the way. And I want the surface that I'm adhering this to as smooth as possible. So since this is just going to be ephemera on my cards, I'm not really going to stress out too much about exactly how that little ribbon is, because I'm not going to be hanging it on anything, but you could, if you wanted to, make these ornaments. This would be really cute. And now I'm getting sticky everywhere. So let me get out my other paper towel. Oh no, we're sticking to everything here. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. And these two are a little bit busy, so I'm gonna feel this. This is nice and cool, and I'm just gonna gently tear it off. And then there is that like champagne color. Isn't that super pretty? Let's do one more, and maybe we will just do like a plain, I think I have just enough to do like a plain red, like a bright red. I'm gonna have to get more of these. I did notice the last few times I was at Michael's, they have these kind of pellet waxes there rather than just the wax stick that you melt off and that you cut off. So that's a lot of fun. So if you wanted to, just gonna leave it like that. If you wanted to go grab some of the wax pellets rather than like order them online or something, that would be nice. And Santa here is fun, right? I might have made this a little bit too tall, but that's okay. I think that this would go nicely on a few projects. Just kind of, this could be just honestly the centerpiece of your card. You could put this in the middle of the card, use some really patterned paper. Okay, so we have 3 of them done now, right? These are a little bit fun. I like them. And I don't know what I want to do with these as far as like the ribbon goes. I have some chiffon ribbon too. I might go get, because I think that would go with that. And this I could probably just save off to the side because this one is big enough to probably do another one. So we have that red going, and I have a little bit of a more like, this ribbon is like frayed, kind of frayed. It's a textured is what I'm looking for. It's textured. So that's fun. Just cut off a little bit because I was thinking I have the green up here. We want to do maybe green and red, just like I did over here. So that would be fun on that. So let's try to glue that, get that glued now. And I need to make sure I keep my Fabri-Tac tipped upside down, which I don't think I have anywhere to put it. Okay, let's just kind of start here. And then that's just going to be a little bit too big. And this ribbon is just a little bit thicker, and that could go like something like this in the front, but I'm going to let that dry off and stir this up over here because now it starts to get really warm and it starts to bubble and boil around the edges, and then you get like a clump in the middle. So everything around it will be boiling and kind of burning, but the wax in the middle is not doing anything. If you can see really closely, we have some bubbles going, so that means it's boiling. So it's really, really hot, so watch out for that. I think this is probably still a little bit warm. Let's, while we're waiting, probably do one more. I have this ribbon, which came unspooled when I took it out of its box. I have a little ribbon container. This is really pretty. This might go with something like this. This is really thick though, so I don't know if that will glue down very well, but let's just keep moving along. I probably needed my other scissors for that, but that's okay. And I could just kind of put that there. That gives it a little bit of a fun, elegant little Christmassy feel. So here's the red over here that I'm pouring out. And you're not going to get an even one every single time. Just try to put this the best in the middle as you can. And then I think I'm going to be done with making the wax seal. See, I put my finger on that because I was trying to stay away from the soot and it burnt a little bit. And we just wipe this out and let this cool down. I don't have a snuffer right now, so just blow that out. Don't touch this, it's still hot. Why didn't you learn the first time, Carrie? Oh, I like this color a little bit better with the pearls. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I have this red saving over here, and I'm just going to kind of join these at the end of the ribbon, if you can see. And these are just simple, fun little projects to do. Marisa went way, way more in depth with hers. She did a lot more because she did them for like journals, and I have a few little round keychain discs, like when you go to the mechanic and you get your key back, you know, with a number on it or whatever. Just, I got those at Walmart in the office supply section. So I do like to put some of those on my junk journals. I have actually, I thought I had them up here, but I don't. I like to adhere the wax seals to that paper on the little disc of the keychain with Fabri-Tac or super glue. Super glue works out a little bit better. I just kind of, Fabri-Tac tends to be like my go-to. So I'm going to leave that there. I don't know what picture I want for good old Santa Claus over here. This is fairly elegant. I do like that. And this just raises it a little bit, and it just gives it something a little bit fun. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of do this set of these, or like this. I did want to put, I think, a little bit. This is blue though, so I don't know if I want to, like, I could cut it and add it like this, or put more of that same on there, which it fell down. I have to go get it, and just kind of have it. So if you did want to hang it on something, or you just want it to look like, you know, you're hanging it, you could do that. I don't know. I think I kind of like these the way they are, and I just put them on my projects, and then we'll make a few more out of this and do the other idea that I had in my head. So this green, we're kind of waiting it's cooled off, and just gently try to peel it off, because I know I'm going to keep saying this, but I ripped a lot of these because I get too aggressive with them probably. I just want to go tear them off, and that green turned out really, really pretty, if you can see that. And that's just a leaf over there in front. And we're just going to glue the red down. I could have probably made that a little bit longer, but I didn't. Oh, I forgot he was adhering. So it's just a simple, fun project. Like if you have, you know, you need a boredom buster, or you need, you know, something to get your crafty mojo going back on. This isn't like a full project that you're doing. This is just like, we're doing ephemera for future projects. So I like to do this kind of stuff a lot, especially if I'm low on time. And also if, that's super cute. I really like that. Also, if, I'm going to break my own rule and use my ribbon or my fabric scissors. Like you've lost your crafty mojo, and what do you do, right? Or you just want to sit in front of the TV and kind of do something crafty, but you don't know what, or you're not ready for like a full project. So stuff like this is fun. I do a lot of like the adult coloring books too. After work, I try to do like a coloring page a week sometimes. And I will do that. I got glue on that now, so I don't know. Try to wipe it off. Just to kind of, that helps me relax on nights that I don't have homework, or nights that I'm not doing my homework, and after like a hard day at work. So I do work in mental health, so I do kind of like need some decompression time at the end of the day. And you know, when we get home after work and things like that, we don't always have that because we have so much responsibilities going on in our lives. So I just take that time. Sometimes I'm in front of the TV at night, and I just work on the adult coloring book for a little bit until my eyes give out. And that's what I do. I posted a few of those on Instagram and TikTok. I've done a few of those reels like that. So this is just, you know, something fun to do for self-care. This is like that. This just kind of like really keeps you busy, gives you ideas to kind of keep the crafty juices flowing. And there's that. So, I mean, there's not much more. I am going to do a different style here in just a minute, and then we'll get to going with those. But I think these, I'm just going to leave right here. They're still kind of setting up, if you can see them. And then I'm gonna start using some of my ribbon and my little wax seals from my stash. Okay, now we're gonna get into the second style that I wanted to do. I'm gonna post these on my Instagram once they're all finished setting up and I know everything is adhered down here. Fabri-Tac does, it's not like an instant dry. It does take a minute to set up and dry because it is that sticky glue, and then we're adhering it to different types of material. I use this for more than fabric. I just use it all the time. Okay, so I have these ribbons right here, and oops, they're just flying away. I actually wanted to use that one, and then I have the red one still setting up over here. So let me grab my ribbon that dropped, because I think that this would be fun with this one is what I thought. I thought that would be really fun. So let's pull the pin out of there and set that aside so I don't get hurt. And this one might be really cute with that. Just the colors are dark like that, excuse me. Yeah, let's see what we do. So this is not all the way cool yet. It's cool, but it's not all the way cool. I had more of this. I don't know if this is gonna be long enough though, but this is really cute, right? The red and the green and the sparkly. I do like more of that. Okay, so we'll start with those. Does anybody else have a ribbon hoard? I have big, like the Michaels 12 by 12 plastic paper storage that you are supposed to store 12 by 12 papers in. And I have all my ribbons in there because I have quite a few of them, because they used to do like buy one, get one free, buy one, get one 50% off. Oh, now they're all 75% off, stuff like that. So I collected those, and then I was a big scrapbooker. And so I had a lot of paper that I would store that way because it was portable. I could take it to crops and take it to friends' houses and things like that. I think this would be super cute, and then it's just like that, and then we put an image over it. So the thing with this is it's probably a little bit of the writing is probably going to come through, which I'm not going to be mad at because I did, oh, that's super cute, isn't it? I did use my metallic marker, so that might look really fun. I'm just gonna keep it how I want it because I will forget and then I won't do it right the second time. And kind of smush my fingers together until we do that. Yeah, so for a lot of you that like to mass produce the cards, and we're just going to stick it right on the back of there. I think that that's super cute, and I might dovetail these. Let's put this on the back. Do you guys do your crafting in stages like this? Or do you do one complete project at a time? I've done both. I like doing it this way because then I'm less overwhelmed when the time does come and it's like December 1st and I need to be mailing everything out and getting ready. And now that I have a grandson, this will be his second Christmas, and he's like walking, and I swear to God, that kid's gonna be running soon. So it's just a lot to do, and I have my mom comes in from out of town, and it's just a lot going on. So then I get like panic, right? And then that's when we want to be like, okay, well, let's just create something really simple. Let's use what was in our stash last year. Maybe we should just go buy them. You know, you're kind of getting that holiday rush. And so this is why I like doing this. And I didn't dovetail them, but I just kind of cut them at an angle. So this is the other style I kind of had envisioned. And so if I do it in pieces like this, I don't fall into that. And then the holidays are a little bit less stressful because we have enough stress in 2025. We don't need to be adding on to ourselves that way. Okay, let's take this one off. This is a little bit of a thinner wax for some reason. It just came right off. So we have the red. I'm going to let that sit over there. And I wanted to do this with the green because I thought that that would be super cute. I think I might have done it too short, but I do want it a little bit longer. I'm just going to make it really long now. I'm not going to be able to do it how I wanted it the first time. There we go. So I think that's really cute. So you could hang this on something if you wanted to. Yeah. Yes. So don't forget to comment in the comments below. And I am thinking about going live soon. I haven't yet. I get kind of nervous for doing that because sometimes I just get really into my like crafty zone and I stop talking and, you know, I'm just like really focused on something. And that's, you know, as creators, most of us are like that because we get, yeah, just in the crafty zone. And so I do like watching lives. I watch lives on the regular. Now I'm sticking to everything. And I do enjoy them. And there's a few fellow creators on here that have really like inspired me to go live because that's what they do. And it's more of like a fun little crafty sesh. You don't have to have anything like as planned out, but I don't tend to come to the craft table and not knowing what I want to do. That's just how I am. I like a goal in mind. I'm very goal oriented. I've always been that way. It's the Leo in me. That's just super cute on its own, right? That's super cute. Where did the Santa Claus go that I wanted on this? Now I forgot which one I wanted. Oh no. I don't even know if I had anything in mind, but he goes cute right there. So what days, I know I'm asking you guys a lot of questions. I don't expect you to like comment on everything, but it's just kind of fun when us crafters can like come together and get inspiration from each other and, support each other and create. But what days would be best for you? I obviously work during the week, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it like in the mornings or in the middle of the afternoons during the week. And I live in San Diego, so I live Pacific Standard Time. But you know, it's always going to be there when you do it later. But what days would work for you? And I know Friday is probably out for a lot of us because we are busy watching Craft Roulette. That's a lot of fun. I haven't made a Craft Roulette card in a while, so I need to get that going. But what days of the week would be better for you that you would like to watch a live and participate in and meet some new people and support some other crafters? I was thinking like maybe a Sunday afternoon. Sometimes that gets hard for me though, because I do homework Sunday mornings and then I do clean, and like today I made sourdough bread. So I do like a lot of like my self-care time on Sunday, but I have time. Like this is what I'm doing right now. I could be live, right? I could be live and we could be chit-chatting and you could give me your ideas about what you would do with this kid and vice versa. And so, you know, Sundays would work for me. Saturdays would work for me. Probably like a Saturday afternoon around like 3 o'clock my time would work a little bit better because I tend to run all my errands and sometimes I have appointments on Saturdays and I'm always kind of trying to be home for some crafty time. I will craft on Saturday nights. I'll watch a few retro shows. Because if you guys don't know, I've been working like on my passion project. So if you want to go watch that video. So I've been crafting kind of in my living room on a Saturday night. Adding to that junk journal. It's like an 80s junk journal. And so that's just a lot of fun. So I'll watch like an older 80s TV, well, not 80s, it's 90s, a 90s TV show. So I've been watching Beverly Hills 90210. I started that over. That's a lot of fun. I'll do that on a Saturday night. Like I'll have a glass of wine or some tea or something. And that's what I will do. I don't know if I want the black and white Santa. I think so though. Or the red. I don't know. I like the red because it kind of ties in. And see, if I was live too, we could feed off of each other's ideas and be completing some fun projects together, right? So it's always fun when you have a crafty friend with you. And I used to go crafting a lot. I don't have a whole lot of friends that do the crafting, but they really like my crafting. But I used to have a few really good friends that live nearby. One of them moved away, and another one doesn't really craft anymore. I got gook on that. So if you do that, because you're, now I'm all sticky. Okay, that's not going to work. If you do get kind of the gook on it from the Fabri-Tacs all over your fingers, I have soot on my fingers, things like that. You can use this eraser, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. I got this like a few years ago. And it takes off glue. It takes off any like debris on your projects. You, this isn't really coming out. I need more, I guess. You know, it just takes off a lot of what's going on in our craft room. I've even been able to take off embossing powder with this. Another eraser that I use for my ink mistakes when I'm stamping is this one, the Mono Sand eraser. I just kind of go in circles. Like if I got ink where I didn't want it, I got my stamp didn't stamp perfectly. I have this personalized stamp, and I tend to get a lot up in here, and it'll get on my project. So if that really bothers me in the moment, I take that. I really, really like that eraser. And so there's that. Okay, we are just chugging along over here, aren't we? I really like that dark color together. This is probably one of my favorites. These are a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish making these two. Now we kind of have a momentum that we're going in, and I think I'm going to use these two ribbons and some new ones, and then I will come back in just a second and show off my finished product. Okay, well, I just wanted to finish up these last few while I was on here with you. I have some scraps of this, and I think I want to, instead of doing all of the same like ribbon form, I think I want to kind of double this up and just put it on the back, and we'll see how that works. I thought that that would be fun to use up our scraps too. I'm big on trying to use up scraps when I'm crafting, because I don't like to waste any of the stuff, like most of us don't, right? And these old vintage Santa Clauses are just, I love them, love them. Marisa did such an excellent job. So if you'll notice, if you purchased anything from Sweet Pea Curiosities before, that these images are from previous kits, and she has full size of these images in her shop. So she made these itty bitty, and that is, I believe, the name of the kit, but I will post that in the description box below. I'm going to give you a link. And so if you have a lot of these bigger images from previous kits that you've purchased, now you have little itty bitty micro images, and you can put them on your different projects. So that's a lot of fun. And I'm just going to add the Fabri-Tac to the back, and then we'll kind of review what we did today. So I didn't intend to make this video as long as I did, but like I said, you kind of get going on certain projects, and this is probably going to show through that glue. So, I don't know how I want to. I could just leave it, or I could kind of fold it over like that, which is what I might do. So let's just leave that there. Takes a minute to set up. So I just thought if we did a few different ones, let's see. So they weren't all just the samesies. Oh, that didn't adhere over there, but that's gonna be okay. So just to kind of distract, I think, a little bit from the glue in there. And you don't even have to do this. It was kind of bothering me. Oops, sticking everywhere. Just something kind of fun. Now that I got guck on that too, didn't I? Oh no. I'm getting guck everywhere. I might take that off. We'll see. All right, well that didn't turn out how I wanted it to. I had a better idea in my head. I just did it because it kind of bothered me a little bit, but you don't have to, because it could look like snow. Because this is glitter anyway. And then we have our last one, which I wanted to do with this because I love that red. And I don't know where my Santa Claus image for that, oh, right here. I love the Santa Claus image for this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up on that. Now you got the hang of it. I'll give you a chance to go over and grab this kit, and we'll come back and review them. Okay, now I have them all created, and just to give you reference, I did this many and I have this much left of the paper and what's over here. So this comes with tons and tons of images, and not everything is Christmas, not everything is Santa. It's other images that she has in her shop that are shrunk down to be itty bitty, like little micro images that are fun for little projects like this. So I'm just going to kind of set a few in my dirty little soot hands. I apologize. And show them to you up close. And I just did the wax seals. And I do not have the plain wax seal, which I'm going to have to get. It's going to have to be on my list. But these all have writing on the back, but you can barely tell because you can just zhuzh up the wax seal enough. This can be a centerpiece for a card. This can be put on an ATC. This can be put on a coloring page if you're into the adult coloring pages, which I love. Junk journals, envelopes, like you could decorate envelopes for your junk journals, things like that. And I absolutely love these images. I hope you guys had a good time today. I hope I gave you some good ideas. And comment below, when would you like to see me go live? What day of the week works best for you? I could do like a Saturday afternoon, probably after 3. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm Pacific Standard Time. I could do a Sunday at probably noon or 1. Or a later afternoon. I'm filming this right now at like 4, I believe. So, because I just got done with everything I needed to. Or I could try to do like a midweek, you know, fun little creative sesh and do that. Sometimes I don't always work the same schedule because I am a supervisor at my job. So it kind of depends on, you know, other people. But yeah, I could get that going. I hope you guys had a lot of fun today. I hope I gave you some inspiration. I hope you go check out Marisa's Etsy. I'm going to post the link below. And I hope you guys stay crafty. Keep creative.